Georgia Bulldog fans say Mike Bobo will be the problem for the offense. Now, whether that's true or not, it's not for me to say right now. But I'm going to get in a little more detail about it during the video. So y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe and tune into the Doghouse. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, YouTube gang. I'm your host, Major, and y'all already know this, the Doghouse, man. But before we get into the video, man, I want to shout out all of the subscribers, man, everybody that watched the channel. You know what I'm saying? My channel is definitely growing, especially as I get back into the groove. You know, the last video I talked about how I had a lot of personal things going on, but now I'm trying to get back into the fold. So shout out to y'all and anybody else that's coming into the Doghouse, man. Wipe off your feet, hit the like button, share, subscribe, comment, whatever you do. You know what I mean? But I do appreciate everybody, so I wanted to get that out the way. So yeah, let's talk about this situation with the fan base and Mike Bobo, because I feel like I've been seeing it a lot on a lot of different YouTube channels, mainly in the comment section, not the content creators, but the comment section. And it's just crazy how a lot of people are bashing Mike Bobo. Everybody feel like they have their opinion, and that's cool. You can have your opinion, but sometimes I think a lot of people need to do a little more research when it comes to, you know, bashing somebody. And then too, I be thinking about this too. I don't know if a lot of y'all know that Kirby Smart is the guy that hired Mike Bobo. So if you're gonna bash one person, then you may as well bash Kirby Smart as well, which I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying, if you're gonna bash Mike Bobo, why ain't you bashing the person that actually hired him? As if today Mike Bobo hasn't done anything to harm the Georgia Bulldogs. Mike Bobo hasn't done anything. We can't speak about last year. Everybody knows last season we had the most drops. You know what I'm saying? And damn near in college football, the most drops, man. And that's coming from being a two-time champion. So I'm not gonna blame that on the OC, and I'm not even gonna blame that on Carson Beck. Y'all know how I feel. The ones that watch my channel, y'all know how I feel about that. I put that solely on the wide receivers. You know what I mean? But while we talking about rosters and wide receivers, let me show y'all something real quick. The ones that don't like Mike Bobo, y'all gonna love this. Okay, so I just pulled up the roster from the earlier seasons when Mike Bobo was the OC. For those who've been under a rock, he was the OC from 2007 to 2014. And I'm going to just go through. I'm not going to go through the whole roster or nothing like that as far as the players. I'm not going to do that until I get to Todd Monken, because I am going to speak about Todd Monken and the whole situation with him at Georgia. But I just want to stick with Mike Bobo right now. And as y'all can see, in 2007, we went 11-2. I'm going to skip through this fairly fast, as long as my internet let me. All right, in 2008, we were 10-3. Okay, 2009 we were 8-5. It got worse. 2010 it got even worse. 6-7. 2011, 10-4. Got a little better. 2012 we were 12-2. Got a little better. 2013, 8-5. So it kind of looked like a hit and miss situation almost. 2014, 10-3. So I completely understand for those who don't like Bobo. I completely understand it at a certain point. You know what I mean? Because you see the 8-5s and you see the 6-5s or whatever the case may be. I understand it at a certain point. You know what I mean? But as of today, I don't feel like Mike Bobo has a reason to be hated on it, just to be honest, you know. And then you got to think about it. Those seasons probably didn't have the same caliber of players that we've had in the last 5-6 years. I don't think we've had the caliber of players then versus now. I really don't believe that. I mean, you got to think about it, and this is why I get into with Todd Monken, right? So a lot of people praise Todd Monken for, you know, helping us win those 2 natties, and I give him all the credit in the world. I'll never take credit for a man doing his job, right? Especially when he's doing it pretty good. But my thing is, we criticize Mike Bobo, you know, and not realizing that Mike Bobo, in my opinion, I don't feel Mike Bobo had the level of talent that Todd Monken had the 2021 and 22 season. You know, you got to look at the roster, and let's do that. Let's go to that. Let's look at the roster for the 2021 and 22 season versus the 2024 season. Okay, we got the 2021 season. Y'all already know what our record was, 14-1, right? We won the Natty that year, and we also won the Natty in the 2022 season, right? But look at the roster. I want y'all to pay close attention to this roster. And I'm mainly speaking about the wide receivers. I'm not speaking about everybody else, even though everybody else played a very big part when it came to us winning the Natty back-to-back. They played a very big part, but I just want us to focus on the wide receivers right now. You got Ladd McConkey, 31 receptions, 447 yards. Kearis Jackson, 16 receptions, 194 yards. Jalen Johnson, 3 receptions, 29 yards. Arian Smith, 3 receptions, 102 yards. A.D. Mitchell, 29 receptions, 426 yards. Jermaine Burton, 26 receptions, 497 yards. Marcus Rosemy-Jack Saint, 7 receptions, 94 yards. George Pickens, 5 receptions, 105 yards. Jackson Meats, and then you got Dominic Blaylock, and Justin Robinson. But the point that I'm trying to make here is the roster that we had, and then once you add in the running backs, you got Kenny McIntyre, Zamir White, James Cook, Kendall Milton, you got Dejon Edwards, even though at that time Dejon wasn't playing as much at that time. Savon Clark, you had Cash Jones, the list goes on. The list, and I'm not even talking about the defense, but the list goes on of the level of talent that Todd Monken had in that 2021 season. Now let's go back up and let's go to 2022. Now y'all seen with the players for 2021. Okay, as far as the wide receivers go. Okay, so we back at it with the wide receivers. Ladd McConkey once again came back. 58 receptions for 762 yards. Kearis Jackson, 21 receptions for 320 yards. Dominic Blaylock, 15 receptions for 227. You got Nylon Morset, 4 receptions, 34 yards. Marcus Rosemy-Jack Saint, 29 receptions for 337 yards. Dylan Bell, 20 receptions, 180 yards. A.D. Mitchell, 9 receptions, 134 yards. Arian Smith, 7 receptions, damn near 200 yards. Jackson Meats got 65. My thing is, and that's when we got to see Mekhi Muse, do his thing. But that's the thing. When you look at this, this is what Todd Monken was working with, right? These 2 seasons, 21 and 22, pretty much had the same. Everybody was already there. Everybody was, either came back or, So he had guys, man. He had a different level of guys, right? So let's do this. Let's go up to the 23 season. Now, this is when Mike Bobo got the job, right? Once Todd Monken left. So here's the 23 season, right? We're going to start with, of course, the wide receivers. Dylan Bell, 29 receptions for 355 yards. Ladd McConkey, 30 receptions for 478 yards. Mekhi Muse, 13 receptions for 155. Arian Smith, 8 receptions for 153. C.J. Smith, 6 receptions for 116. Anthony Evans, III, 4 receptions, 35. Dominic Lovett, 54 receptions, 613 yards. Marcus Rosemy-Jack Saint. The point that I'm making is, again, look at the roster, right? Look at how deep we are with wide receivers. You even had Ra Thomas in there, 23 receptions for 383 yards. You know what I mean? But anyway, I think y'all get the point that I'm trying to make. I think y'all get the point. And let's go further. Let's go to the worst season, I feel like, with the 2024 season. Now, this season, we went 11-3, obviously. And this is the season that we were always on our heels every single game. Every single game. And you want to know why we were on our heels every single game. Look at the list. Dylan Bell, 43 yards for 466 yards. 43 receptions, I'm sorry. Arian Smith, 48 receptions, 817 yards. But once you go further down, okay, then you got Dominic Lovett, 607 yards. London Humphrey, 244 yards. Kobe Young, 149 yards. But this is it. Like, y'all can rewind the video or whatever, but this is our wide receiver core for 2024. This is it. So you could just imagine what Carson Beck had to deal with, right? I'm just saying, Carson Beck had a lot to deal with. I just showed y'all the I just showed y'all the roster from 21 to 22. We had a stacked wide receiver room. We didn't have it in 24. And I think that a lot of people don't really realize that because, like I say, they're not really looking at the roster. They're not really paying attention to that. They probably just watching a couple of games, a couple of highlights, and they're realizing, oh, it looked like, oh, now that Todd Monken's gone, that we're not as good as we once was. But you got to think, too, Todd Monken don't run the defense. The defense were clearly putting us in position every single game in 21 and 22. I don't remember not one game that I was really on my heels in the regular season in 21 and 22 or on the edge of my seat. I don't remember not one game, and I don't think you remember one. I think the only game that we really was on the edge of our seats was the national championship against Alabama, right? But I'm just saying, I'm not a fan of Mike Bobo. Like I said in the beginning, he hasn't done anything for me to be a fan of his, but I do not understand why people constantly dog the man. Yeah, back in 2007 through 2014, of course, he was like a hit and miss when it came to the Georgia Bulldogs. But right now, he hadn't done anything. So I'm just rolling with the punches. That's all I could do. And I hope the fan base, I hope most of y'all do the same, is just roll with the punches. You know what I'm saying? Kirby Smart is the one that hired him. I do not think with Kirby Smart coming off that high horse of 2 national championships back to back, as hard as that is to do, I do not think he's going to hire somebody that's going to put us in the worst position. So, yeah, man, to all of y'all that's hating on the dude, man, give him some time. That's all I can say. Give the man some time to see what he can do. Like I say, he did not have the level of talent, in my opinion, that he would have had if he would have been the OC the years that Todd Monken was. I believe if Mike Bobo had the guys that Todd Monken had, he probably would have. I don't know if it would have been back to back, but I do know that we probably would have still, we still would have got a natty. We had the guys, man. You had Darnell Washington, you Lad McConkey, Brock Bowers, you know what I'm saying, A.D. Mitchell, George Pickens, man, that little few guys, that 4 or 5 guys right there alone speaks volumes, man. Anybody that has those guys with a dual threat quarterback like Stetson Bennett, as well as a dominating defense, anybody that has a team like that, any coach knows, if I have a team like this, I'm gonna win the national championship. But I think it's just too much hate going on. That's all I'm saying. I think it's just too much hate going on. I think we need to come into this season and be relaxed. You know what I'm saying? And we got to understand, once again, like I say, because I already know if we lose a few, 1 or 2 games, they're going to start bringing up Mike Bobo's name. But we have a brand new team. We have a brand new team. A lot of these guys do not have experience. Y'all have heard this over and over with the press conferences with Kirby Smart. So we have to realize that. And we got to understand that there's different elements to building a great team. So you can't always just put it on 1 or 2 people. You can't just put it on Glenn Schumann. You can't just put it on Kirby Smart. You can't just put it on Mike Bobo. It's more than one coach on the football field, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mike Bobo is the OC. He's the offensive coordinator. Yes, he is. But here's the thing. You have unexperienced players out there, so they're going to make mistakes. And you cannot blame every single mistake on Mike Bobo. You just can't do it. Like I said, I think that Kirby Smart, when he hired him, I feel like he hired him for his experience. Plus, you already know, they both played for Georgia, so they got a relationship outside of football. And, I'm just rolling with the punches, man. He hadn't done nothing right now for us to say, oh, he's a bad offensive coordinator. I think we need to kind of chill on that. But I can't tell another person what to do. I'm just giving some advice like, hey, man, I just showed you the proof. Like, I showed you the proof from the 2021 to 2022 versus the 2024 season. Even the 23 season. The 23 season, we still had some of the same guys, right? We were dropping off. Guys was getting hurt and things like that. But if you just look at, rewind it, look at the 24 season versus the 21, 22, and 23, and you'll really see the difference. Like, we really didn't have any guys. I mean, we had guys, but we didn't have guys. Like, y'all, we didn't have the dogs. You see what I'm saying? And offense does matter. You know what I mean? But like I said, there's a lot of elements to being a great team. So it's not just always on the offense. I'm sure the defense made a lot of bad plays, also. But we just got to stop all of this Mike Bobo hate for really no reason. If you ask me, it's really for no reason. And I just clearly showed y'all that it's really no reason to hate the man. If you want to hate him from 2007 to 2014, be my guest. Go ahead. Like, I don't blame y'all. But as if right now, from 2023 to now, I have no quarrel with this with Mike Bobo at all. Like I said in the last video, Mike Bobo is winning, man. His son is what? Going to probably be the starting center at this point. You know what I mean? He's the offensive coordinator. Like, he's winning right now. Now, once the season start and things starting to happen, it just depends for me. It'll take, you know, a lot for me to start bashing Mike Bobo. It's gonna take a lot. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people are saying no excuses this season, but we got to realize that we do have young talent on the field. We don't really have many veterans on, especially the offense. We don't have a lot of veteran guys on that offense side of the ball. We don't have a veteran quarterback or a quarterback with a lot of experience. We don't have a veteran running back or a running back with a lot of experience, because as we can see, ETN had most of the reps last season. But Nate Frazier, being a good running back, he showed himself to be a starting running back, which I hope he is the starting running back coming into this season. The wide receivers, Kobe Young, we didn't see much of him last season, right? Kobe Young, he's still fresh to the program, at least. You know, he's a veteran as far as being in college football, but to the program, he's brand new. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of guys. Everybody on the offense is pretty much brand new. So we have to take that into account and not overdo it. And I think a lot of the Georgia fans sometimes overdo it. So that's really what I wanted to talk about, man, and bring to y'all. I just felt like I've been having this on my mind for a while. At first, I didn't want to talk about it because I'm like, any real person that covered Georgia knows that the problem last season was not Mike Bobo. But I think a lot of people are still gonna, you know, like I say, a lot of people out there, they might just look at the highlights or they look at the score or might catch a couple of games and they not really realizing, like, you got to dive into the players more so than anything, the roster. And we didn't have a long roster in 2024. Our roster was not good enough. You know, if you want to blame anybody, you should blame James Coley, you know, because he's the wide receiver coach. And if you ask me, the wide receivers were the main reason why we wasn't at our best last season. But anyway, man, I'm going to get out of here, man. I don't want to hold y'all too long. But, man, like I said in the beginning of the video, shout out to the subscribers, man. And y'all like, share, and subscribe. Tune into the Doghouse, and I'm your host, Major, and I'm out.